Hey there, welcome to today's video. Now today we are going to bring you on a journey to visit a giant Ferris wheel. We have been here before, we've made a video about this Ferris wheel before, but the last time we made this video we were actually looking from the outside of the Ferris wheel, and today we are going to bring you into the Ferris wheel. Now this Ferris wheel is known as the Singapore Flyer. The Singapore Flyer is very special because it is also Asia's largest giant observation wheel, and it is also known as one of the tallest Ferris wheels in the world today. Apart from that, this Ferris wheel is supported by a leather truss ring, which is basically that middle rod section of the Ferris wheel. So you can see that there are just two rods coming from the center of the Ferris wheel, and it's being supported by these metallic cables all the way down to the ground level. So this is very different from other Ferris wheels in the world, which are supported by triangular rims. We have been to this place many times, and the best time to visit this place is actually after 5 p.m. That's when you start to see the crowds coming in and having fun around this area. Most of the activity you'll notice will be along the Riverside Park. This is where you'll see people having their picnics, taking a brisk walk, cycling, and just having lots of fun. Alright, so we're really excited to visit the Ferris wheel. So let's take you on a journey into the Ferris wheel capsule and see what it looks like inside. Let's go! Okay, so are we on time for the sunset?
No.
No?
We are late.
Really?
Yes.
But it says the sunset will be around 7:10.
Yeah, but look in front of you.
Oh man, looks like the sunset is going to go down even before we go up. The Singapore Flyer flights will last around 30 minutes. Now we are walking towards the capsule. Basically, you have to walk through an L-shaped walkway, which will lead you to the main area where you will actually enter into the capsule. For some reason, every time we are around this building, there are very few people. But today, there seems to be quite a crowd, even at the car park. So we are quite surprised as to why people are pouring in today. Maybe because the weather is finally good in Singapore. It's been really hot, and today has been quite a cool day. It seems like a couple of capsules have passed this particular entrance. So the crowd hasn't actually moved after a long time. And I'm wondering what exactly is happening. The crowd, though, is starting to mount up. So after some time, they just asked us to move down this walkway. I'm not too sure how many people they're going to fit into each capsule. So that's the capsule there. Oh, it's moving. We can see a little of the sunset from here. So in the southern direction should be Indonesia. Those are the very nice cargo ships that you see from here. Alright, so now from the sky, we've got the flower dome here. This is the cloud forest, and we've got the Marina Barrage over here. We've made blocks at all three places. We've also got the Gardens by the Bay, the super trees here. Now, one of the things that we haven't shown you is what is opposite the cloud forest or the Gardens by the Bay. It's actually this very nice plot of land, which look really beautiful. The reason why we haven't made a block in this very nice lit area is because this is actually the Marina Golf Course. I don't think we're allowed to enter in this area. Now on a good sunny day, you will actually be able to look up to 45 kilometers away from the Singapore Flyer, and that's actually very far because the length of Singapore is actually, I think, around 50 kilometers. are currently at the highest point of the Singapore Flyer. I'm not too sure whether I would say that this is a very nice view because it gets a little frosty now and the windows are kind of frosted, so you can't really see very far. That is MBS, and further up from MBS you see a lot of ships there. That's actually Sentosa. And we've got the Shoppies as well as the Singapore Art Science Museum from here. Really beautiful. It's the Singapore River. I think they call that the Kallang Basin if I'm not wrong. And we've got the floating platform. That is where we used to have a lot of our NDP parades.
Mind the gap, please sit to your right. Please proceed down, thank you.
That ends our Singapore Flyer experience. I think the most interesting part was the first 3/4 of the trip. After that, the last 15 minutes, everybody probably felt tired. So everybody just sat down and just looked around, because once you pass the midpoint or slightly after the midpoint, you have pretty much seen everything from every angle, and you don't really have to see them in more angles or different perspectives. So right after the trip, you walk down the platform, which leads you to a shop. So what are your thoughts on the Singapore Flyer experience?
Definitely a very different experience, and it is very unique. You can see the whole city view from the top of the flyer. The sunset was nice too, but not the exact perfect sunset that we were expecting before we went on the trip.
We actually planned 2 days and filmed for 2 days, trying to find the perfect sunset before we would take this trip.
But the sunset was very nice before we entered the flyer, and when we were at the top, the sunset was decent. It was not that nice.
The other thing I noticed is that there are very few Singaporeans who come and visit the Singapore Flyer. In fact, the people who are in the same capsule as us came, I believe, from Indonesia. Yeah, and when I looked down, Thailand, yeah. And when I looked at the platform, I noticed there were many people from India. Haven't seen any locals who actually came for this experience. Not too sure why. Maybe because we live in Singapore, so we kind of feel that we know how every part of Singapore looks like already. But I would say it's a very different view. It's like taking an aeroplane and looking down from the aeroplane. It's a very different view, really nice, really soothing. Alright, so thank you so much for joining us in this experience. I'll see you in the next video. Signing off from the Singapore Flyer. Bye!